Good evening, folks. Red County Blue Nation, West Cliff, Colorado. Great States of Americans. Stephen Rorick, Mike Boring, James McMahon. Jimmy, how you doing this evening, buddy?
We're doing good. Steady as she goes. Need a lot of rain. Need the fire to go out. Yippee-yi-yay. Yeah, busy, busy.
You would think the rain is like the dirty R word. Because it just ain't happening.
Boy, they had a thunderstorm down there. Shut the auction down.
Today?
Today. Down in Lana. Yeah, they had hail and wind and a lot of rain. Just, it was like right over the auction.
Nowhere else, huh?
Well, it went on down the road, I guess. And then as we were going out of town, shoot, we thought someone had irrigation on because there was so much water in the field and looked like just a big old, just a consolidated area that rained there for maybe a mile or so, but flooded the fields. So, and it's dry.
Oh,
it's just ruthless. I mean, usually when you go down in that neck of the woods, there's so much bugs and so much green and so much, life.
At least a green tinge to that prairie.
Some of that prairie's pretty green, or it maybe got some rain somehow. But boy, other parts is just.
Boy, that prairie in between Wetmore and Pueblo it looks about like my place out here. It's torched, boy. I mean, it's just dead. Looks like it would in November, December with no snow.
Yeah.
It's completely brown.
Yeah. That's the way Centennial's getting too. Just dry, crispy, nothing. But maybe we'll get some rain. Boy, oh boy. Definitely need some rain. Yeah, they had some kind of meeting at the bowling alley the other evening over the fire. They had the commissioners in there, and it looked like several of the administrative people from the county was in there. I thought I could go in, maybe sit down and listen to it, but I was asked to leave. We're having a meeting. It's a private meeting. I'm like, how can it be private? You're all county employees. How you having a private meeting? Seems a little funny. It wasn't an executive session. They had too many non-executives there. But it is what it is. See, you're sporting your Mount Alexander hat and your Mortarmen 250th year.
Almost embarrassed to wear the Mortarmen shirt, but my boys are like, come on, you can do it.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I can do anything. It's do I want to?
Do I choose to? So I'm glad you chose to.
Well, we moved all the fireworks out today, so.
What's that mean?
They're not here.
Oh, I swear.
Yeah, I took them to a secure location and locked them down.
Good, there you go. Super necadocious. That's a responsible thing to do. So what do you guys do with all the insurance that you bought? Or do we not want to talk about that? Never mind. Act like I didn't say. Let's change the subject. Let's go on something else.
Oh, you mean the folks that came all the way from Tallahassee, Florida to come up here to see the fireworks? I mean, it is what it is. It's the difference of opinion. I mean, the Gunnison shot fireworks off. They told the people they were secure. The fire department told the people it was going to be fine. That's something that we don't have here. They don't believe in us enough to back us. They just want to argue with the sheriff. Oh, it's the sheriff's call. Call them. You don't ever stand up for us and say, yeah, we got it secure. We got fire trucks. We're on a rock. Everything's fine. No, you can't say that. You just want to try to point the blame at it's all the sheriff's fault instead of trying to celebrate the birthday of this country. You want to just pass the buck off on somebody else. And that is the cold hard truth. And I'm sure you don't like it, and I don't give a rat's ass what you think. You guys had every opportunity to support us, and in my opinion, you didn't support us none. When somebody calls you and says, what about the fireworks? We're scared, we're concerned. What do you say? Call the sheriff's office. Weak.
Yeah. And the cancellation of the parade, I thought that was a little bit.
Oh, but we got fire trucks. It's fine if our personnel's stressed so bad, but they can come down here and spray the little kids down at the end of the park. Like, I mean, come the frick on, folks.
They got the power. Got the power.
The most all of the fire is in Pueblo County, and all these people, there's 1,000 people fighting that, and it ain't anybody from Custer County.
Yeah.
Which don't get me wrong, I'm glad, right? I'm glad that it's not on our back porch and about to burn our ass out and all our guys are working to death, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that's not the case. But let's be real.
They do got the big tent set up, huh?
Yeah, it's the bluegrass. Oh, and you ought to hear the Nancys and Karens. Oh my God, I can't believe, don't you know? What are you going to do inviting people up here? You know how many people are so upset? All of the business owners in this town that rely on the 4th of July and these Nancys and Karens that are writing stuff on the internet, don't come to Westcliff. Shit, the air quality's better here than most places. But now you got these Nancys and Karens that think they know more than everybody else and they don't know jack about jack. But yet they can still run their mouth and people listen to them. Yeah, people came all the way from Florida to see them fireworks. And the son of a bitch was secure. If you'd have burned a hill like you said you were going to, and you had permission to, but you didn't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, you didn't support us. You have a beef with the sheriff. You're mad at the sheriff because he has the last say in it. And you want to act like a bunch of little 3-year-olds arguing over who gets the candy.
Pretty immature.
It is, to me, is unacceptable. And like I said, it's water under the bridge, but there's a lot of people that were
gravely disappointed.
They lose more faith every day in the county government, the fire department, the sheriff's office, the whole 9 yards. Every day, people lose trust in the people of authority because they just don't do their job. Look what's going on over here at what they want to call workforce housing, but it's actually subsidized housing, low-income housing, but nobody can figure out what it is. Like, the people that are on the planning and zoning board of the town can't even figure out. They can't even get the information. Like, what are you guys trying to hide? Why are you trying to hide this stuff? We know why you're trying to hide it is because it's nefarious. Otherwise, you'd be totally transparent. Wow, Jimmy, look how great our housing development is. It's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. We're going to have a playground for the little kids, and we're going to have a community center, and we're going to have this and that. There ain't none of that shit. It's all hush, hush, hush. We're going to pass it through. We know you don't want it, and we don't care. We're going to do it against your will.
It was almost like a shell game going on there, too, because they had the development in Silver Cliff that they were looking at.
Speaking of this shell game, I don't know if Speaking of this shell game, I don't think we talked about it, but there's 17 different shell corporations behind the Justice Center.
Well, now that's a big can of worms be opening up.
Like, really? Like, if it's so great and wonderful, why can't you guys come out in the open and say, look what we got. Look what we've done. This is great for the community. This is great for the people.
And this is why.
Yeah.
And have some good, strong, critical thinking that's gone into it, how it's going to affect our life in the future, and exactly what effects does it really do. And then not having the trout pond fix that, down here. And we're just going to keep adding more to the sewage pond. Come on. Come on now. I don't know, just some things aren't adding up, and it's not reasonable. And it always comes down to what's reasonable. And I'm thinking this is pretty easy to prove that these are some unreasonable. The reasoning it's not a practical reason that where we're going with it. With the constituents' concern at the forefront of it, it's more a little different agenda. And we'll bring it out. It's all going to come out. You guys are going to have to answer some questions. It's all coming. A little bit here and a little bit there. It's all coming. But yeah, it was a little bit of weirdness going on there. One minute we got this 4 or 5 lots in Silver Cliff, and then the next thing you know, we're busting ground over here in West Cliff with the Paul Winkie show. But it is what it is. And then I guess he resigned, and now Christie's up in there. We'll be tracking this stuff. We're just kind of taking mental notes right now.
Once again, folks, that's what the Chronicle is. And I know I've been saying it, but the Chronicle is coming out hell or high water, depending on what, no matter what, it's coming out.
It is. We're
going to mine the BOCC board. We're going to mine the town meetings. We're going to mine all this stuff with AI so that we can condense it, so that we can get wrapped around it and keep track of what they're doing, because nobody has time to go to these meetings and follow what these
knuckleheads. Well, we're sold out to something, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. I can't do, but
well, in my personal opinion, I think people are sold out and they don't even know that they're sold out.
And
they think that they are.
You've been right on more occasions than one, Steve. I'll just give you that much.
They think they got a plan. They think they're maybe trying to do something that's good. Plus, they can see money at the end of the tunnel.
For themselves or somebody.
For themselves. If they didn't see money at the end of the tunnel, they wouldn't do it. Let's face that. This whole deal over here, this low-income housing, has nothing to do with helping some little kid that needs a home or needs something to eat. It just ain't. It isn't a fact, folks. There's too much money involved. You trying to tell me that Ed Lyons donated however many pieces of machinery he had over there so that a couple little kids could get something to eat? Ain't happening. Nothing against Ed for doing it. I'm just saying, he didn't do it for free. Nobody would do that for free. And you can try to, all you libtards out there can try to think somehow that it's subsidized housing, but like, it's taxpayers' money. It doesn't matter if it's a grant or what it is, it still comes from the government. Like Jimmy says, the government has no money. They don't have income sources except for the people. But most people don't understand that. They're like, well, that's a grant. Let's get it. And you didn't read all the stipulation in the spec?
I think there's a small group of us that will get a copy of that, and we're going to dissect that grant money and see what the wording is and what the strings are.
We're going to get a copy of it because we know that you don't want to give it. We have people that have already been asking for it, and you won't freely give it up. And it's like, it might not happen at the pace that I would like it to happen to, but eventually we will get there, even if it takes attorneys. We will get there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what a lot of this battle's having to be fought with is attorneys. Just got to pull up the law, but a lot of it's political stuff. And if you elect politicians that are stupid and have ill will or whatever, make bad decisions on your behalf, that's what recalls are about. But you got to be proactive in electing people that are going to be competent, that really do have the will of the people first and foremost in their heart. Because these people that get in there with this hidden agenda to serve, whatever it is.
Well, and that kind of ties into what we were going to talk about with Charlie Kirk. Like, do you really expect us to believe the bullshit that you're talking about? You somehow think that this poor little kid shot Charlie Kirk through the neck with a 30-06? Like, have you ever shot anything with a 30-06, especially in the neck?
Jeez. Shit's gone. Gone.
So, at what point, I mean, I'm still back to my initial original stance. It's the battle of good versus evil, and without some kind of divine intervention, either through the people that are here or some other kind of mechanism, what's going to stop us? We ain't getting them stopped. All they do is make us bow down. Oh, you can't have fireworks.
You can't have a parade.
You can't have a parade. We're working too hard.
My men are stretched way too thin.
Like, really?
One thing is it would have lifted people's spirits and would have been focusing on some positive, and we negated it. We just
do you know
it.
Do you know how much money that you cost the town by not having the parade? You're talking about
a lot.
I just talked to one of my guys today. He said normally $25,000 is how much he makes during the parade.
Yeah,
made $5,000.
So when you're working for the government, you've already taken the money.
Yeah,
at gunpoint.
Like you said, hell, the money's already in the bank. You know you're getting paid. You don't have to worry about if somebody comes to the coffee shop or somebody goes to the liquor store or somebody goes to the restaurant.
That's what makes you asinine. Because those are the people that pay your wages and you're a servant to them. You serve them. We don't serve you. It's coming, kids. It's all coming. You're going to get a real wake-up call on how you need to be. You're a servant. You're a servant to us. It's not the other way around. And that's where it's coming. That's why we got to watch who we elect, who we get in power, what kind of heart and mind do they have, what convictions do they have, are they willing to listen to the constituents, can they do a risk analysis, do they have any kind of decision-making skills at all other than just follow the leader, just go along? Because that's what it looks to me like, is we've got something we're following here. And I don't believe it's advantageous to the people that are paying the taxes. Who are the kings? Who are your masters? Because you're the servants. This is how this government works. You're not a king because you got elected. You got elected to be a servant. That's what I like about LaPresti. He's got it. He knows what it's about. He's like, no, we serve the people. Love that guy. But you'll never hear any of these other Nimrods say it. None. They're so warped. It is what it is. But it's all working out. It's all coming. Like I said, my biggest thing is get some rain on that fire. Because God only knows the firemen can't put it out. They just can't. I mean, I'm a Northern California boy. I've seen some forest fires. Just get out of the way. I mean, it's one thing if it's grass fire. You can get out and fight it. You can make something happen. Or if it's something small, where you can get a fire truck right there and get a bunch of water on it. That's one thing. Not when it's like that. You can't get to it. The only thing
No.
going to get to it is a plane.
Well, yeah, and you can't. They can't carry enough water to do anything.
Yeah, it's like a net on an elephant's ass.
They'll drop in 1,000 gallon on a fire line that's 15, 20 miles long. You might you can do some good with them planes, but not on something that size.
Not on when you got terrain like that. I mean, it's sad. It's grievous.
If you only had an acre or two and caught it when it was
quick,
then it's a different story.
Yep. But when you get a 2 or 3 mile long fire line, and it's so dry. That was one of the things I wanted to do the parade and fireworks about was, I feel as if some of these purple heads are starting these fires, they feel like, look, we forced them not to have that. We were powerful over them. They didn't get to march with their guns and their Bibles. They didn't get to, celebrate the 250th year. So they won. We lost. That's how that is. They won. We lost. That's how that is.
Trying to explain that to somebody in an elected office or in a paid county position is, might as well be saying that to the fence post, because they do not comprehend.
They don't.
What you're talking about.
Cannot hear that.
Don't want to hear it.
Don't want to hear it. Too comfortable. Way too comfortable.
Whatever you're talking about basically is threatening what they do. And that's
why this country was formed.
That really is, in my opinion, it's just like the state patrol that told my friend that he couldn't go 1.5 miles down Siloam Road to go look at his stuff.
Boy, if that just don't chap your ass, huh? Here's the guy that's got to make a living. His whole fortune is sitting there.
Yeah, got over $1 million tied up in this deal, and you got some snot-nosed little punk kid saying, "No, you can't go in there." Like, I get it, right? I to a certain extent.
To a certain degree, it's acceptable.
The thing is that it's just, let's build society more and more and more about, you can't take care of yourself, we'll take care of you for you.
Yeah. You
can't go in there. The damn, when I went and talked to all them guys about going through there with the water tanker, the guy tells me, he said, "Well, yeah, if you drive down the road though, but I want you to know that there won't be anybody to call and save you." And I was thinking to myself, you dumb son of a bitch. No offense to whoever you were, but you're about as ignorant as they come, trying to tell me that you think I'm going to call you to save me? You're out of your mind.
Come save me.
Jesus, boy. Maybe some people are that way, but a lot of us are not. And we're never going to be that way. We will fight to the very bitter end over this deal.
Well, the men that created this country.
Yeah, the men that created this country ain't calling for nobody to save them.
They put their whole being on. They laid it all on the line.
Hell, move them guns. The British are coming. Stash them guns again. The British are coming.
Well, they were.
Stash them guns again. NATO and the Chinese are coming.
Yeah. Yup. But yeah, in the spirit of America and the independence and how it's supposed to be is upside down. And we got to do some correcting. Just need to get it upright.
I wished I knew what to do.
Well, I think we're trying. We're using our First Amendment.
That's why we're standing here talking about it, because we're not satisfied with the way things are being run or going. And if you want to stand in the line of fire and you think I'm talking directly to you, they'll then stand up there. At the end of the day, I don't care who you are. I don't have a problem with anybody personally. It's your position. And the position, it's your attitude about your position that you think you're going to knuckle over on me. You can't go through here. I told every one of them cops all the way from Florence clear to Wetmore and back around to Siloam Road. I said, I'm coming through here with an 18-wheeler in about 30 minutes.
Breaker, 19.
I'm coming through here.
I'm on my way. Oh, you can't go there. It's grievous. Yeah, I mean, it's grievous. Come on, rain.
If something goes bad, you can't call anybody. Dude, they're for crying in the night. The fire's like 10 miles away and I'm on blacktop. Like, God.
I'm hauling water.
Yeah, I got 5,300 gallon of water in the back. Does it look like I'm scared? I had I don't know what them tanks are. 200,000 probably. We got 200,000 gallon of water on the damn hill up there and everybody's, oh, well, you had spot fires last year. Well, yeah, that's why the fire department wanted to burn it. But for whatever reason, they didn't feel like they wanted to, or they would have. And you can blame it all on me. Once again, why is it that a civilian has to ask for permission from the sheriff for the fire department to have a prescribed burn? How did I get tied into asking this shit? Oh, that's right, because you guys can't get along with each other. You don't like each other. It's a common fact. People in this county, in this town, know this. You've already stated it.
It's on record. And who pays the price? Who pays that price over that little immature squabble? Who paid the price?
People from Tallahassee, Florida.
Who paid the price?
Just to name one.
That's where the tread is hitting the pavement, is where we're going with this. Servants. You need to hear that word over and over, and then you need to read the definition. Public servant. Public servant 100 times a day. Matter of fact, tell it to each other. I'm a public servant. Public servant. That needs to be your motto. Public servant. I'm a public servant. You a public servant. I'm a public servant.
They wouldn't no more say that than the man in the moon. What do you mean, public servant? I'm the chief in charge. I'm the boss around here. I can tell you what to do.
I've got authority over you.
What do you want to dig into the CCRCC?
Why not? We got plenty to talk about, folks. The topics are endless, and they keep stacking up.
Not to mention that you all know how I feel at this point, but shit, let's just bomb each other into oblivion and call it a day. No, now the peace talks are over. We're going to bomb you again. Like, at what point are people going to quit lying to each other? Probably never. I mean, I used to be naive and think that humanity was like maybe a little more
hopeful,
had a little higher consciousness than they have.
Absolutely.
But they don't.
Surprise.
Yep. Well, and I mean, guess there's two ways to think about it. At least in my own mind, I know what perfection or what utopia could be. And then I have to come back to reality and see what it really is.
Well, having high expectations, and that's kind of where we're at. We expect good behavior, especially out of our public servants. Public servants. Just keep repeating that. then when it doesn't happen.
If that hill would have had 2 foot of dead grass on it, I would have been concerned. I was up on there. The grass is about this tall, and it's nothing but solid rock. The whole one side of that whole thing is nothing but a huge hole where they mined rock. There's like no way that a fire can get away from you there. None.
Yeah, I mean, here again, Steve, when you're in business for yourself, risk management is the biggest thing. You're always looking at what's the odds of something. And that was assessed and it was agreed upon. Yeah, that's very doable. Now, if we get 80-mile-an-hour winds, we're going to shut it down.
Well, yeah, and we
could do that. And that's acceptable.
We don't get 80-mile-an-hour winds at night usually.
Exactly. That's the irritating thing that really boggles my mind.
My name was on the insurance policy, and I've told you all before, I would be the one that's personally liable if something happened. And I was willing to take the risk. That's how confident I am in myself of what I'm doing. That don't matter. We ain't going to get no support because we want to argue amongst ourselves.
There's no way you can know that. You can't be that. You don't have that much common sense. You're not that smart. We're smart. We get paid to be that smart. We'll tell you. That's the irritating. We'll tell you because you're not that smart. Right. Okay. Sure. We'll just go with that. It's pretty irritating. So what's going on with the...
Well, so we have us an illegitimate election for the treasurer's position. And I kind of went through my chat GPT beforehand, and at the midst and the height of it, I was having trouble with my phone. I could only see like a small little bit, and I was trying to thumb through, and everybody's like, no, this, blah, 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 blah. And so, and of course, everybody's looking at me like I want to argue, and I'm trying to tell them, look, I'm not trying to argue. I looked this stuff up, and you guys are not right. Well, they went ahead and certified it, which is bullshit. People went ahead and certified it because they didn't want to set it around. All they would have had to do is say, look, let's not certify it. We can have the incumbent or whoever won. We can have them take care of the business for the interim till we can get to the bottom of this. Well, I got to the bottom of it. What they tried to say, what the chair said, was that it's a vote of the majority of the people who were there. Well, what she did, and you know, I'm talking about your chair, Ann Barthrop, and I'm not, this is nothing against Ann or Ann's character. This is just the facts of what this is.
And how the position.
And this is just the way that this boiled down. Ann was looking at the biannual organization meeting bylaw. That's where she read that. We were having a vacancy
meeting.
Committee election.
Yeah.
It specifically says in the vacancy election bylaws that it will be a majority vote of all of the voting members, which was at that case would have been 17 because he didn't have a treasurer. That means it would have took 9. Would have taken 9 people to have a certified vote. So the vote is illegitimate. And so, I mean, I knew all this, but I couldn't seem to get it out at the meeting. I've got the paperwork together. I know all the bylaws. I know where everything's at. Some people are under the impression that we can't amend the bylaws in an even year. That's not the case. It says right in our bylaws, takes 30-day notice with 2/3 of the vote. And we will have to amend this bylaw, or we're going to get the attorneys involved again. I'm not going to put up with this shit from these people. And I'm not pointing at any single one, but you almost already lost your house. The 9 of you that voted against me. If one more of you would have voted against me, we'd have been suing you for everything you own. Nobody understands that. You don't grasp how close you were to the brink of destruction, fooling around with us. Then you had an illegal meeting and had an illegal election and posted somebody as the chair illegally. And the third thing is that you elected yourselves to the county assembly, the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. That's breaking a state statute. The 3 of you were almost banned from the Republican Party for life over that.
Fact.
You don't understand where you're at with us. And they're trying to tell me, well, Steve has changed. The bullshit. The only thing that I changed is I called the attorneys on your ass, and we should have let you commit the crime because then you would have been gone.
Yeah, we'd have been done with you. But we're not built that way.
Well, we just didn't know, or we probably would have.
We might have. We might have had a
We would have.
Yeah, probably had enough up to here. And if that would have been the
So
simplest way to...
It was the luck of the draw, and for the betterment of the party, and it is the way that it is, right? It happened the way that it happened. But you almost was banned for life from the Republican Party. Mr. Zeller.
Who was the attorney that... who was
Randy
this?
Corporon.
Who is...
He is the committee person, or there's only a man and a woman from Colorado that go to the RNC, and he's the man. This is the same one that Andrew Zeller said, well, I think he needs to go back to school. It's like, dude, really? I mean, you're so far off base of what you're talking about here. Andrew, you don't realize that you almost got sued for everything you have. All it would have took was one more.
Yeah, one more vote.
Jimmy was less of a bad guy because he got 8.
I wouldn't even quite as bad.
9 of them, 9-3 out of 12 people, 9 of them said, hang Steve Rourke. If one more person would have voted, you all would have been sued.
Well, you talk about
personally.
Hat passing for the attorney on that one. Woo, doggies.
So I have this plan. We're supposed to have a meeting on Thursday night. Well, it's pretty convenient for the girls to try to cancel it because they're under investigation from Tracer. There's a bunch of stuff that hasn't been squared away. Ann is a registered agent and has been, even for Andrew Zeller. Like, I thought that's what the treasurer was supposed to do. So Ann's not even the treasurer. She's been the registered agent this whole time. And they got 10 days to fix this. They got till January 21st to fix all this stuff. Otherwise...
To what's the date? July
21st is 10 days. They have 10 days to remedy.
To remedy that. I love that word.
And there's like 7 or 8 infractions that are going to be pretty
hefty,
pretty stiff to fix. I mean, one of them has to do with giving money to the paper after the paper had been closed for 2 months, and oh, it'll be fine.
Little bitty things like that.
We'll just wash the cards and deal again. Steve, he's a whole new guy. He's really changed. Are y'all smoking that shit or what?
He's really changed.
Do you really think that I've changed?
We're pretty sound mind and we're pretty reasonable people. We're a little enthusiastic. I will give you that much. But at the end of the day, I ain't changed and you ain't changed. But do you know what's changing? The environment is changing. Because they're being challenged. Here they've done all their little wishy-washy stuff that's very questionable. And we're just calling you out.
Well, and the funny
Just
part,
calling you
the
out.
funny part is too is that all of the same people that voted to kick us off of the committee are the same people that are voting to try to keep the people in there that can't keep track of the books. And just so you know, I mean, we've said it, and let me say it again real clear for anybody that's listening. We will not have a fundraiser until we get this stuff square.
Absolutely.
So
will not.
the Lincoln Day dinner that's scheduled on August 15th,
You-
don't know what to tell you. I mean, you don't want to have a meeting this month because everybody's so busy. Well, I already told you before, and I'm going to say it again. We're not going to raise a red cent
No.
till the books are fixed, and they are not fixed.
It's got to be administered correctly where it's transparent. And it has to be done with some reasonable accounting. And they just don't have it. When they sued Lenny.
Yeah, I mean,
there is a pattern of behavior of how destructive these people are because they have a bad attitude. If they were just normal and said, hey, we'll take your help because we need help. Thank you, Lenny. And embraced it.
Oh, and said, dang, shoot, I guess we were off a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's try to get this remedy.
So that's how the constituents are able to be involved in their business. That we as public servants, me as a PCP, public servant, hello, I have a duty to the people that elected me. Hello. The duty is not unto my own personal gain. It's to look out for their welfare. That's how you roll.
You know, if I would have been represented properly, we've said this many times. I have other stuff to do.
Boy, oh boy.
Besides try to explain to everyone how the cow ate the cabbage here. But why was I the only one, not to toot my horn here, but why was I the only one that looked through the bylaws before the election? Not to beat down on my people, but why didn't the people that were getting elected look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
So we need to keep ourselves accountable. And that's what we're trying to do here is lift the bar of accountability and keep us all out of harm's way. You should be humble enough to embrace that. That's a good thing. You should embrace it. But if you're a bit questionable in your monetary accountability, then you kind of do a little pushback. And that's kind of what we've been getting into. That's all. It's a real simple equation. We're going to work through it. We're going to raise the standard of behavior. It's all good. It's happening. Don't happen as fast as we want it to, but it's a coming. And we got a pretty good group of people together that I think, you know what I mean, is enough of a challenge to the bureaucracy around here. And you people really should check yourselves. You should monitor yourselves. You should be self-governing and help the other people that are public servants mind your P's and Q's. Watch what you're doing. Don't create a suspicious environment. But have extreme uprightness where you're not reproachable. That's all we're shooting for here. That's all you got to do. And everything's solid. But when we don't know where the money's going, and we're getting stiff-armed, suspicious behaviors dripping off the wall. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody just wants to bring up that same old, well, we don't like so-and-so, and you're associated with them, so we don't like you. This has nothing to do with people and their personality. It has to do with the position.
So their position requires them to throw their individual person out the door. You go over here. You stay at home. When I'm home, then I can put you back on. But when I'm a public servant, you have to wear a different attitude and you're held to a higher standard of behavior. What you do on your own time and what you do personally, but when you're interceding on the behalf of the constituents, you have a duty. The word duty is where people forget. They just, oh, what are you talking about, a duty? I'm not a soldier. Well, yeah, you kind of are. You are. And you have a duty. You have a reasonable duty. Not only that, but to have these secret meetings. Oh, you can't be in here. Not only that, but being a PCP in a Republican district here, where the fire's mostly at, you can't be, you got to leave. You got to get out of here. What are you guys, is it top secret? What are you guys, are you plotting against us? You got 3 commissioners sitting in there for one. It ain't no executive meeting. You got all kinds of other people in there that aren't constituents or not even another semi-elected individual. That's bizarre to me. Absolutely bizarre.
That's where people don't understand the authority and the power actually of a PCP.
Absolutely.
And I mean it's
coming.
It's a gray area too, though. I mean,
it's nothing to be taken lightly. I mean, here again, they've thrown those resolutions right in the garbage.
We'll get to those. We were trying to have a legitimate election here, but we can't even do that because we're so disorganized. And not to bring Bill in it again, Bill, but when you tell me, well, hell, we had people at the state look all up and down this shit. Really, you about got 3 of your members banned for life over that, Bill? Well, hell, the state looked at it and said it was fine. Really, our attorney looked at it and said, you're full of shit. It didn't even take an attorney to look at it. We found this stuff out ourselves. Yep. And we went to the meeting and you said no. And I said, what did I say? See you in court. Well, I ain't fooling around no more, folks.
It's serious, Don. Very serious.
This is not fun to me. Fun to me is trying to spread some irrigating water or try to make a bale of hay or work on a hot rod or shoot a gun or drink beer or something. That's fun. Trying to argue and keep an elected official squared away?
Doesn't even make the bottom of the list. And
why in the hell do I have to ask the sheriff for permission so the fire department can do a prescribed burn? Since when in history does that ever happen? Since the fire department is too scared or too chicken shit to ask them theirself? What's the deal?
It's you really got to wonder. I mean, I like that.
Oh, totally. I mean, once you push me off the cliff and I'm going, how the hell did I even get in this deal?
How did I even get in there?
How is a civilian asking two county government agencies what one and the other can do? Like, come on. It's childish to say the least.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. When you're as a public servant, you have to push those away. You got to neutralize yourself. If you're allowing your personal life and conflict that you're having with another individual as a public servant to a public servant, and you allow that to contaminate your decision-making skills, you need to get out. You need to run from that position. You need to get out. That's what you need to do, because you don't have the right attitude. You don't understand your duty, but you need to get out. Just go ahead and put in your 2-week little notice, because you're not that special. It's going to be okay. I remember old Kevin Day. Well, we just got to hire whoever we can hire. We don't have no one to pick from. That's pitiful. Pitiful. Non-aggressive hiring and seeking competent people here in our community. And then when you do find them, you throw their resume in the trash and you hire a Braden Wilson with a $50,000 walking away bonus.
You promised me, Tom.
Tom, you promised me this. That's why they went in and had that illegal meeting. Bill Candy, it was pretty impressive. You didn't go in there that time. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And I think you just get the Grammy for acting. But anyways. Anyhow, it's all coming to a head. It's a pretty good pattern of behavior. It's not just one incident. It's just a continuous pattern of behavior. Public servant. Remember, say that 10 times a day, 100 times a day. I am a public servant.
Sure as hell glad I don't have to say that.
Well, you kind of are being a PCP. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't have the responsibility.
I'm not a paid public servant.
There you go. You're absolutely volunteer public servant. And that's where I'm at.
Really, all I'm doing is representing the voice of the people to the party.
Yep. Yeah.
I remember the third thing we were going to talk about, and did you see where Trump is talking about bragging that he's going to get Walmart to lower all their prices? Did you see that?
I haven't. I have been
a
little busy.
Just saying, folks. I mean, I'm not trying to pick sides or say this one way or the other, but yeah, I read a thing that said that Trump he's out there on True Social or saying, yep, Walmart's going to drop their prices. Beef prices are going to drop by 15% because I told them to. And I'm like, oh, really?
Kind of a piss poor servant attitude. It's where most of your tax money's coming from. Hello, King Trump. I mean, I appreciate what he's trying to do, and it's a mess that he's got thrown into. This country is a mess, and God pity that man. Lordy. I mean, and it would be handy if they could, but I don't know why they're going to. Why would they? I mean, they have a loyalty to the people that, is there shares in all that?
I'm sure there probably is.
Their loyalty is to the people that own the shares. Not so much to the consumer. Not that it doesn't go hand in hand, but at the end of the day.
Evidently, he told Spain, too. He said, we ain't doing business with Spain anymore. They're the root of the socialist stuff. I'm going, Yeah, here we are trying to bomb each other again. I'm just so tired of what, in my opinion, is just lie after lie after lie. And I'm not saying that Trump's a liar. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, obviously, there's plenty of lies in between all of this, and there's really no way to. I mean, that's quite frankly, I guess on one side, that's why I like the bylaws.
Absolutely.
Because they say what they say.
Absolutely.
And it don't matter what your interpretation of it is.
That's why the law, a republic, is under the law. Everybody's under the law. Whether it's a bylaw or just a civil or criminal law. We're all under the law. That's a republic. There are no kings. But when you're a public servant and you're there, the government was formed to keep evil under, not to suppress good men, not to suppress the goodwill. It's to keep evil under, not to give it to the small ants. You know what I mean? And that's where we're at. And I don't know to what degree some crazy stuff might not be going on right here locally.
Oh, it's definitely crazy.
But we will have a time for questioning. We'll have some questions for some of you. I don't know exactly how it's all going to work out, but
Well, I got the bylaw deal figured out, so.
Yeah, and when we get that in word form and able to explain it cleanly with the law, the bylaws, if you have any kind of concept of right and wrong, you'll understand why the law was written. The bylaw was written for this reason. We'll give you the reason why. This is why it was written this way.
Well, and that's the thing about the bylaw, is whoever wrote them obviously didn't know what they were talking about, or the three of them wouldn't have almost got banned from the Republican Party for life. Whoever is writing the stuff has their head on backwards. You ain't paying attention to what the deal is here.
Yep.
You got yourself into, I mean,
Unless
you guys
you're-
were that close to the brink of disaster.
unless you're trying to bend a rule to disadvantage one and advantage another, then your decision making is clouded. And that's why I was telling you, get up and leave. If you have that kind of asinine attitude and behavior, an evil ass heart, get up and leave. Get up and get out. If you know stuff that's going to dramatically affect us as individuals and you don't confide into us, if you don't bring it up at a meeting and tell us and be completely transparent, you are failing at your duty. Boy, it is almost imbecilic to have to say this stuff. I mean, we're stating the obvious. That's how remedial this crap is.
Well, it is. And I mean, they're so far on the other side of it, they have no,
It's like their conscience has been severed.
yeah, they have no intention of trying to listen to you because they're the authority.
We don't represent your kind, Jimmy.
Don't represent your kind,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Little Kevin Day. Remember that? Little Kevin. Boy. That's what's irritating. When you do get engaged, and then you get thrown around like you're some little punk.
Oh, that's
You
why
only
it's-
do that for a little while. We let you. We gave you the rope.
ultimately, yeah, at some point,
We gave you the rope, baby.
the first is going to lead to the second.
That's where
We're
it is.
tired of hearing ourselves speak. We need action.
And it needs to be self-governing. People need to fix yourselves. You need to really ask yourself, what have I done? The low-income housing, what have I done? What other counties have introduced the same thing you're doing? And what has been the results of that? Have you ever thought about the ramifications of your decision for maybe just a handful of personal gain? And how you've sold out to people that trusted you because you're a trustee and you abused your position? We got you. It's okay. Keep her going. Keep it going. That's all I'm going to tell you. Keep it going. Roll. Keep rolling. Because it's coming. It's okay. It works itself out. Always does. Maybe not when you want it to. Got to be patient. But that's one of the things I've learned about all this stuff that I've been in or we've gone through. Me personally, for the last 10 years dealing with this crazy, is patience. Because I'm a now guy.
Me too.
Here's the answer. Let's implement it. Let's go.
Want results.
Results. And it's not that we're asking for
Well,
something
yeah.
unreasonable.
What we're asking for is totally reasonable. That's how this country was built, not the way that it's going now. Oh, somebody called and they really complained real hard about the fireworks, so we told them to call the sheriff. Oh, really? Makes you look like a total ass in my eyes.
Well, I mean, everybody's...
You couldn't stick up for yourself and say, we have this covered. You're safe. It's going to be fine. No, hell, what you want to tell them is call the sheriff. Okay.
Well, they exercise their will on us. You guys got you one. You got you some. You got you some. That's okay. Get you some. Whenever you can, get you some. Because that's kind of where you did here. You exercised your will against people as a public servant. And I understand that your authority and your responsibility to the community is that's a big deal. But when you're unreasonable in the decisions and your actions are based on your personal problem and falling out with another individual that's a public servant, you force the other people to pay for your immaturity because you couldn't put yourself aside. You couldn't put your little pansy ass ill will towards someone else aside. You'll make everybody suffer for it. Watch me. And that's what took place here. Period. Period. That's what happened. We know that's what happened. And the people running the parade, they didn't want any of the Second Amendment. They didn't want the guns and the Bibles in that. We know that. Well, they shut it down with an excuse that was pitiful. Pitiful excuse. But it's about elections, and this is your political problems. We'll get her straightened out. It's coming. One little bite at a time. We'll get her. We'll get her.
All I can say is to this great country and all the great people in it, continue.
There you go, Stephen. I like that. There you go. Steadfast. Don't grow weary in well-doing, because in due season you will reap. It's all good.
Don't pay attention to some Karen or Nancy. They'll fall on their own sword.
Well, they're typically very self-destructive.
Well, it ain't as long as sometimes, but I'm wanting to do something else besides bitch.
Yeah.
Let's go eat ribs.
Woo-hoo. Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, right now. All right. Are we out of here?
It's a now thing, not tomorrow or the next day.
I like the now thing. It is 8 o'clock.
So, yeah, with that being said, folks, we'll catch up with you next week. Have a great evening.
Yep. Take care.